Hi, Story Hour friends. When you think of animals that dig, you probably don't think of moose, but this moose digs. His name is Elliot, and the story is Elliot Digs for Treasure by Andrea Beck. Elliot digs for treasure. Elliot Moose was digging a hole. He'd started right after lunch, and by the time his friend Socks came along, he was almost up to his knees. "What are you doing?" asked Socks. "I'm digging for treasure," said Elliot. "Treasure?" cried Socks. "I'll help." She grabbed a shovel and hopped into the hole. By the time Beaverton came along, they were almost up to their middles. He found a shovel and began to dig too. Before long, they were all the way up to their shoulders. By the time Angel arrived, it was getting hard to throw the dirt out of the hole. When they told her about the treasure, she wanted to help too. "I'll take the dirt away," she said. Soon, all that could be seen were the tips of Elliot's ears. The friends dug deeper and deeper. "We must be getting close to the treasure now," said Elliot. And just then, his shovel hit something hard. Everyone stopped to look. "Oh, I hope it's a box of jewels," said Socks. "Or a chest of coins," said Beaverton. But it was only a big rock, so they went right back to digging. By now the hole was very deep. Still, the friends kept working. Each time someone hit something hard, they all held their breath. They found a coin, a tin whistle, and an old toy truck, but no treasure. "My arms are tired," said Socks. "Mine too," said Beaverton. So they all flopped down for a little rest. Angel peered in from above. "Did you find the treasure?" she called eagerly. In her excitement, she leaned too far and fell tip over tail into the hole. "This hole is very deep," she said as she dusted herself off. "Are you sure there's really a treasure here?" "Of course," said Elliot proudly. "I found this map. See the big X? And X always means treasure." Angel stared at the paper. "Elliot," she cried, "that's Lionel's garden map. The X is where he's planting his tree." "His tree?" said Elliot. Then he remembered the little seedling that Lionel had been tending for weeks. Elliot looked sadly at his friends. "I'm sorry," he said. "I really thought there was a treasure here." "Well," said Beaverton, "at least we've helped Lionel, but we've dug an awfully big hole for that teeny tiny tree." Then he winked at Elliot and began to chuckle. Soon everyone was laughing, even Elliot. Elliot felt a little silly, but he didn't really mind about the treasure. He loved to dig, and today they dug the biggest, deepest hole ever. They'd found some interesting things, and they'd helped Lionel. Now it was time for supper. Elliot looked up. Uh-oh, they'd forgotten something. What do you think they forgot, friends? The others looked up too. "Oh dear," said Beaverton. "How are we going to get out?" cried Socks. They were trapped in the hole. After a few worried minutes, they came up with a plan. Beaverton knelt down and Elliot got up on his shoulders. Next, Socks scrambled onto Elliot, but even when she stretched, she couldn't quite reach the top of the hole. When Angel clambered up, the fuzzy tower began to sway. Elliot wibbled, Beaverton wobbled, and they all came tumbling down. "Let's call for help," suggested Socks. The friends began to shout. They yelled and hollered as loud as they could, but nobody came. "We need a ladder," moaned Angel. Elliot sighed. "All we've got is 3 shovels. Beaverton began to smile. "You mean 3 shovels and a rock," he said. Everyone watched as Beaverton balanced a shovel on top of the rock. He asked Angel to stand on one end, and then he told Elliot to climb onto Sock's shoulders. "Now what?" asked Elliot. "It's quite scientific, really," said Beaverton. "Jump down onto the other end of the shovel." Elliot took a deep breath and jumped. "Whee!" yelled Angel as she shot up and out of the hole. "I'm flying!" She ran off and a few minutes later came back with Lionel. Together they hoisted Socks and then Beaverton out of the hole. At last it was Elliot's turn. He held on tight as his friends pulled him up, up, up to freedom. Everyone gathered around while Elliot told Lionel about the map and digging for treasure. Then they showed Lionel the things they had found. "A rock with golden sparkles," he marveled. an ancient coin, a rare tin whistle, and a splendid toy truck. Why, these are magnificent treasures. Elliot took a closer look at his truck and smiled. Angel, Socks, and Beaverton were smiling too. That night, before he snuggled into bed, Elliot carefully placed his truck with his other special things. Lionel was right. They had found treasure after all. The end. Remember, friends, our secret code word this week is dog. I'll see you next time.